Hello my schoolers and welcome to the Myschool channel. My name is Angela and in this video we are going to be tackling the English language JAMB past question for the year 2023. Please stay with us, don't go anywhere and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Myschool channel. In this video, we're going to be reviewing questions 91 to 119. So questions 91 to 100 comes with a passage, which is a language register. So I advise you to click on the link in the description below. This takes you to the Myschool website where you can access the passage. You can also pause the video as soon as it is displayed on your screen. Please do not forget that the aim of this passage is to read and understand and then get back to the question. So let's begin with question 91. So we are to fill in the gap labeled 6 with any of the following options. We have late, old, outstanding, and leftover. So let's read the sentence to know what should fill that gap. The coach has asked the Bright Rangers to be paid their dash salaries. So in this case, when we are referring to salaries that are old, we make use of the word outstanding. So our answer to this question is C, outstanding. Question 92. So we are to fill in the gap labeled number 7 with any of the options: match wages, match fees, match bonuses, or match payments. So let's read the sentence. The coach has asked the Bright Rangers to be paid their outstanding salaries and dash so as to dash them to victory. So in this case, we are looking for the fee that is paid to players after a match. So in this case, in sport terminology, we refer to that as match bonuses. So the answer to this question is C, match bonuses. Question 93. So here we are advised to fill in the gap labeled number 8. We have the options push, spur, move, and instigate. So let's read the sentence once again. The coach has asked the Bright Rangers to be paid their outstanding salaries and match bonuses so as to dash them to victory against Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. So in this case, we are looking for something that means to inspire someone to victory. So let's look at the options. The word push actually means the use of physical force to move an object, and so that is not our answer. The word spur, however, means to inspire someone to take a particular action, so that could be our answer. The word move actually means to affect someone's feeling. In this case, for example, we have a phrase to move someone to tears, and so it has nothing to do with this particular context, so that is not our answer. Lastly, we have the word instigate, which means to start something, and it's usually to start a negative or to force someone to take a negative action, so that is not our answer. So our answer to this question is B, spur, because it means to inspire someone. So in this case, you're inspiring the team to victory. So our answer is B, spur. Question 94. So we are looking for something that will fill in the gap labeled 9. So let's look at the options. We have at, in, from, and with. We are looking for a particular conjunction that will fill in that gap. In the sentence, Bright Rangers are the third in Group B with 4 points dash many matches. So we are looking for a conjunction that will show the exact location in which the 4 points was gotten from. And conjunctions that show location include at, in, and from, which has nothing to do with location. So let's look at each of them to know which one of them will fill in that gap. The conjunction at has to do with something gotten from a particular location, and it has nothing to do with this particular context because we are talking about many matches, not just one. In also has to do with a particular one. So if you got the 4 points in one match, you can use the conjunction in. But the conjunction from can be used for situations where we have points gotten from many matches. So our answer to this question is C, from. Question 95. So we are looking to fill in the gap labeled 10. We have afford, which is wrongly spelled in that particular context, afford, avoid, and annul. So in this case, we have to look at the context of the sentence. We have Bright Rangers are the third in Group B with 4 points from many matches and need to dash defeat at second place Al Ahly to stay in the dash for a place in the semi-final. So in this particular case, we are looking at the context of the passage. We understand that in sports, when you are told in a particular group, you have to try as much as possible to avoid defeat in order to become second place or first and in order to qualify for the next round. So in this case, the Bright Rangers have to avoid defeat. So our answer to this question is C, avoid. Question 96. So we are to fill in the gap labeled 11 and we have the options focus, center, running and front. So let's read the sentence to know what to fill in that gap. The Bright Rangers are the third in Group B with 4 points from many matches and need to avoid defeat at the second place Al Ahly to stay in the dash for a place in the semi-final of Africa's most prestigious club competition. In this case, the answer to the question is C, running, because the phrase to stay in the running is an idiomatic expression that means to be a viable candidate in a particular competition. And in this case, we have the prestigious club competition as a competition that the Bright Rangers want to stay in. So our answer to this question is C, running. Question 97. So we are to fill in the gap labeled 12 with any of the options. We have showdown, blowout, show up, and show. So let's read the sentence to know which one will fill in the gap. The coach told mtnfootball.com that the team would be better motivated if they at least receive their August salaries before the Al Ahly dash. So the answer to this question is showdown because it's a common phrase that is used to refer to a very decisive competition. In this case, the competition is the one against Al Ahly, and so our answer to this question is A, showdown. Question 98. So we have to fill in the gap label 13 and we have the options on time, as due, as and when due, for time. So let's read the sentence to know what should fill in the gap. We have to make sure that they are paid their salaries dash so that they can play the game of their lives. So in this case, we are looking for an option that shows that mtnfootball.com is obligated to pay their salaries and obligated to pay it around a particular time. So let's look at the option to see which is the answer. We have option A, on time. On time indicates that there is a particular schedule for the payment, but in this case, that is not the correct answer because there is no schedule for payment. They are supposed to pay around a particular time, not on a particular date. So that can't be our answer. Option B says as due. It shows obligation that they are supposed to pay, but they did not say around what time it should be paid. So that can't be our answer. So option C says as and when due. It shows obligation with as due. And it also shows that they should be paid around a particular time, when due. So that could be our answer. Lastly, we have for time. For time does not make sense, and so it's not our answer. Our answer to this question is C, as and when due. Question 99. So we are required to fill in the gap labeled 14 with any of the following options: inspirer, booster, pusher, and boomer. So let's read the sentence to know which of the options will fill in the gap. The government has done very well, but it will be a big morale dash to get paid for them to go out there and play. So the answer to this question is booster, because morale booster is a very common phrase that is used to refer to inspiration, something that will help to inspire the team to play better. So in this case, our answer is B, morale booster. Question 100. So we have to fill in the gap labeled 15 with any of the options. We have attack, getter, goal, and attacker. So let's read the sentence. The coach informed mtnfootball.com that the Bright Rangers plan to employ the counter dash to get a result in Cairo. So our answer to this question is attack, because the phrase counter attack is a very common phrase used in sports to refer to the plan by a particular team to get the ball in the goalpost of the opposite team in order to score a goal. So answer to this question is counter-attack, A. Question 101. In this question, choose the option opposite in meaning to the underlined word or phrase. It is inconceivable that the cat devoured the cat. A, unimaginable. B, contestable. C, incomprehensible. D. Credible. So the word inconceivable actually means unimaginable or difficult to imagine. So we are looking for a word that is opposite in meaning to that. The word unimaginable also means difficult to imagine and is synonymous to the word inconceivable. The word contestable means something that is put up for debate, that can be debated. So that is not our answer because it has nothing to do with the ability to imagine something. The word incomprehensible means difficult to understand. Understanding has nothing to do with being able to imagine something. So that is not our answer. Lastly, we have credible, which actually means believable or plausible. So our answer to this question is D. Credible. Question 102. Choose the option that has the same stress pattern as the given word. Students. We have the options propose, superb, refuse, and rebel. So the word student is actually stressed on the first syllable because it's a noun and it doesn't have a weak syllable in the first syllable. The word propose is stressed on the second syllable because it's a verb. The word superb is an adjective, but it is stressed on the second syllable. The reason for this is that it is derived from another language, and so you have to pronounce it the way it is pronounced in that other language. Then the word refuse is a noun as opposed to the verb refuse. Assuming it's a verb, we'll stress it on the second syllable. But in this case, it's a noun, refuse, and so the stress is on the first syllable. The word rebel is a verb, and so it's stressed on the second syllable. This is as opposed to the noun, rebel, which is actually stressed on the first syllable. So considering that students and refuse have their stress on the first syllable, our answer to this question is C, refuse. Question 103. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. What were Omi's children waiting for when Bint narrates her encounter with Mr. Salihu? A. Their father. B. Lesson teacher. C. Dinner. D. Arabic teacher. The answer to this question is A. Their father, and we can find this on page 1 of the novel where Omi reveals this to us as she started to listen in on her children while they were having a conversation. So our answer is A. Question 104. Choose the option that has the same consonant sound as the one provided. So let's look at the options. We have without, health, mouth, and neither. So let's go to the board to transcribe each of the words. So we have the word without, which can be transcribed as this. The word health can be transcribed as this. The word mouth can be transcribed as this. And finally, the word neither can be transcribed as this. So from the options, we can see that this is the only word that has the sound. So let's go back to the screen to mark our answer. So answer to this question is B, health. Question 105. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. Where did the police apprehend Tali? A. At the village stream. B. At his residence. C. At the palace of Hakimi. And D. At the village square. So the answer to this question is C. At the palace of Hakimi. And we can find this on page 21 of the novel, where Tali was being questioned by the Hakimi on account of being suspicious. And while this was going on, the police barges in to arrest Tali. So our answer to this question is C. At the palace of Hakimi. Question 106. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. Dash was always on the first row during prayer at his office. We have A. Hamed, B. Zaki, C. Habib, D. Tali. The answer to this question is D. Tali. And we can find this on page 21 of the novel, where we discover that Tali works at the local government office and he's always on time for prayer at the office. So our answer is D. Tali. Do you know you can take practice questions with our simulated JAMB CBT past questions? All you need to do is to click on the link in the description below. This takes you to the Myschool website, where you can download the Myschool mobile app for your Android devices and the Myschool software for your laptops and computers. Please go ahead and start practicing. Now on to question 107. From the list of words lettered A to D, choose the one that is most nearly opposite in meaning to the underlined word, and that will at the same time correctly fill the gap in the sentence. Eating fresh fruits and vegetables is beneficial to one's health, while eating processed food is dash. A, worrying, B, painful, C, tasteless, D, harmful. So the word beneficial actually means good or having certain benefits. So in this case, it's something that is good to one's health. So we are looking for a word which is opposite in meaning to that. So let's look at the options. We have A, worrying, B, painful, C, tasteless, D, harmful. The word worrying actually means inducing or causing stress, and it is not the opposite of the word beneficial. The word painful actually means something that causes physical pain or distress. It has nothing to do with the opposite of the word beneficial. The word tasteless means having no flavor. It is not the opposite of the word beneficial. Lastly, we have the word harmful, which actually means something that is bad. In this case, it is the opposite of the word beneficial. And it also shows that processed foods is harmful to one's health. So our answer to this question is D, harmful. I believe you're enjoying this content. If yes, please do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly, tap on the notification bell to get informed as soon as we release the next videos. Question 108. Select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. The stadium had a capacity crowd in spite of the weather. In this case, the sentence actually means that despite the harsh conditions of the weather, people still showed up and filled up the stadium. So we're looking for an option that actually means that. So let's look at the options. We have option A. The stadium was not filled because of the weather. It says the stadium was not filled when in fact the stadium was at capacity. So this is not the answer to our question. Then we have B. The crowd defied the weather to fill the stadium. To defy something means to go against expectation, and in this case the crowd actually went against expectation by coming to the stadium despite the harsh weather. So that could be our answer. Then we have C. The crowd loved the weather at the stadium. This is not true because they said in spite of the weather they still showed up. This shows that the weather was bad. So this is not our answer. The weather favored the crowd at the stadium. Again, the weather was bad. So the weather did not favor the audience, but they came in spite of it. So our answer to this question is B. The crowd defied the weather to fill the stadium. Question 109. Select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. The conference is biennial. We have option A. The conference lasts for 2 years. B. The conference is held once every other year. C. The conference is held twice every year. And D. The conference is held twice in 2 years. So the word biennial actually means occurring once every 2 years. So we're going to look for the option that actually means that. So option A says the conference lasts for 2 years. And this is not the correct answer because the conference does not last for 2 years but occurs once in every 2 years. Option B says the conference is held once every other year. This could be our answer because every other year means occurring once in the space of 2 years. Then we have option C. The conference is held twice every year. This is actually the meaning of the word biannual. Biannual actually means a conference that holds twice every year. Then lastly, we have the option D. The conference is held twice in 2 years. This can be our answer. So our answer to this question is B. The conference is held once every other year. Question 110. Select the option that best explains the information conveyed in the sentence. Only 2 ministers survived the recent cabinet reshuffle. Now in this sentence, the phrase cabinet reshuffle actually means change, especially in a parliamentary system of government. So in this case, we have a change in government. And the word survive actually means to get out of. So in this case, we are looking for an option that actually means that 2 ministers were able to retain their posts even after the recent change in government. So let's look at the options. We have option A. In recent changes in government, all but 2 ministers retained their posts. So this option actually means that all except 2 ministers were able to retain their posts. That cannot be our answer because it was only 2 of them that were able to retain their posts. Then we have option B. In the recent changes in government, all but 2 ministers remained alive. This has nothing to do with their life. It has something to do with the fact that they were able to retain their post. So this is not our answer. We have option C. In recent changes in government, all but 2 ministers were sacked. This could be our answer because the word sacked actually means being relieved of their post. So 2 ministers were not relieved from their post, so this could be our answer. Then lastly, we have in the recent changes in government, only 2 ministers were sacked. So in this case, this is not the answer because 2 ministers actually retained their post while the rest of them were sacked. So our answer to this question is C. In recent changes in government, all but 2 ministers were sacked. Question 111. In this question, choose the option that best completes the gap. The proprietor of our school, which is administrator, dash expected yesterday. A are, B is, C was, and D were. So we're answering a concord question in this case. And when we're answering this particular type of question, where we see a conjunction such as with, alongside, and together with, we don't regard that part of the subject, which is administrators, is left out because it is regarded as a false subject. So in this particular case, we look at what comes before that phrase. And in this case, we have the proprietor of our school. The proprietor of our school is a singular subject. And so we're looking for a singular verb to attach to the singular subject. So the answer could either be is or was. So in order to know which one of them to use, we have to look at the word yesterday as it is used in the sentence. Yesterday suggests that what happened occurred yesterday. And so we have to use a past tense. And the appropriate verb in this particular case is C, was. The proprietor of our school, which is administrator, was expected yesterday. So our answer is C, was. Question 112. Choose the option that is nearest in meaning to the underlined word. In Nigeria, it is a crime to plagiarize someone else's work. We have A, initiate, B, pirate, C, compose, D, desecrate. So the word plagiarize actually means to copy someone else's work without permission. So we're looking for a word that is closest in meaning to that word. Option A is initiate, which means to start or begin, and it has nothing to do with copying someone else's work. The word pirate actually means to break intellectual property law by copying someone else's work. So that could be our answer, but let's look at other options. We have option C, which means compose. Compose actually means to create works, especially poetry or music. And lastly, we have desecrate. Desecrate means to violate the sanctity of something. So it has nothing to do with copying someone else's work. So our answer to this question is B, pirate. Question 113. He started his career as an dash teacher. So this particular question has to do with spelling. And so the right spelling for the word auxiliary is actually one that has an L followed by an I. So our answer to this question is D, auxiliary. Question 114. Choose the interpretation that you consider most appropriate for each sentence. What I told you is the gospel truth. This means that the information is A, unconfirmed, B, partly true, C, false, D, completely true. So the phrase gospel truth is an idiomatic expression that means absolute truth. So the only option that actually means something that is absolutely true is D, completely true. What I told you is completely true. So answer to this question is D. Question 115. Choose the option that has the same vowel sound as the one represented by the letters underlined. So in this case, we have the word casualty, and the letter underlined is A, which is the R sound. Then we have the option sure, amateur, juice, and aesthetic. So let's go to the board to transcribe each of the words. So the word casualty can be transcribed as this. Then the word sure can be transcribed as this. The word amateur can be transcribed as this. The word juice can be transcribed as this. And finally, the word aesthetic can be transcribed as this. So from the options, we can see that the word amateur is the only one that has this R sound. So that's our answer. Let's go back to the screen to mark our answer. So we can see the answer to this question is B, amateur. Do you have any questions? Please feel free to ask your question by clicking on the link in the description below. This takes you to the Myschool website where you can ask your question and solution will be provided to you within a short period of time. Now on to question 116. Choose the word that has the same consonant sound as the one represented by the letters underlined. So we have the word max. The consonant x is underlined, so we are dealing with consonant cluster question. So let's look at the options. We have A, exhaust, B, axe, C, mosque, and D, exist. So let's go to the board to transcribe the words. So the word max can be transcribed as this. The word exhaust can be transcribed as this. The word axe can be transcribed as this. The word mosque can be transcribed as this. And finally, the word exist can be transcribed as this. So from the transcription, we can see that the word axe contains the same consonant cluster that we can find in the word max. So our answer to this question is axe. Let's go back to the screen to mark our answer. So our answer to this question is B, axe. Do you have a better explanation or solution to any of these questions? Please feel free to share this by going down to the comment section to indicate the question number and the solution you would like to share. Question 117. From the words lettered A to D, choose the word that rhymes with the given word below. So the word is peach. In option A, we have witch, B, lease, C, bleach, and D, bite. So let's go to the board to transcribe each of the word. So we have the word peach, which can be transcribed as this. We have the word witch, which is transcribed as this. The word lease is transcribed as this. The word bleach is transcribed as this. And finally, the word bite is transcribed as this. So from the transcription, we can see that the word peach rhymes with witch because they both end with the each sounds. So let's go back to the screen to mark our answer. So we can see the answer to this question is A, witch. Question 118. This question is based on the Life Changer novel. Why did Habib call Tomiwa instead of Salma that he gave a ride? A, because Tomiwa is a Muslim and Salma is not. B, because Salma gave him Tomiwa's number instead of hers. C, all of the above. D, because Habib likes Tomiwa more than Salma. So our answer to this question is B, because Salma gave him Tomiwa's number instead of hers. And we can see this on page 36 of the novel, where Habib offered Salma a ride to her hostel, but because she was not interested in him, she gave him Tomiwa's number instead. So our answer is B. Question 119. This question is based on a Life Changer novel. Ada and Ngozi were from Imo State and Benue State, while Salma and Tomiwa were from dash and dash. A, east and north. B, south and north. C, north and west. And D, west and south. So our answer to this question is C, north and west. And we can see this on page 31 of the novel, where we discover that Salma is not happy with the composition of her roommates. So the answer to this question is C. I believe you're enjoying this content. If yes, please do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and lastly, tap on the notification bell to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.